Their origin is very similar to the comics. They first appear in the first episode Things Change, nearly killing Splinter and destroying the turtles' lair, though they were able to destroy all the Mousers. In the next episode, they learn that the Mousers were created by Baxter Stockman to control the rat problem. Donatello gathered the remains of one Mouser and was able to fix it, but upon being fixed it immediately left the lair and eventually joined up with hundreds of others in the sewer. The turtles engaged in an all-out brawl with the Mousers, discovering that this new batch was more durable than the last as a shot from a shuriken barely damaged one. Eventually Leonardo discovered the only way to beat them is chop off their heads off, and the turtles managed to destroy all but one. Donatello tries to capture it to study, but Raphael destroys it before he can. Meanwhile, April O'Neil discovered Baxter was using them to rob banks and jewelry shops. As a result, Baxter sent for Mousers to kill her, but she was rescued by the turtles. She later accompanied the turtles to Stocktronics and encountered Stockman, who attempted to kill them with the Mousers. However, April and Donatello managed to get the Mousers to overload, destroying them and the building. Mousers continued to make appearances throughout the rest of the series, including as aides to Stockman after he became a full-time member of Shredder's staff. A few Mousers, with their skull-mounted lights on, were used to search April's destroyed shop for evidence of the turtles' apparent demise. After Stockman confirmed no remains of any turtle or human in the area, a Mouser offered him a red cloth, which was used as forged to look like Raphael's mask. Later, Dr. Chaplin created a new variety of Mousers with 4 legs and the ability to transform into large spheres, which were deployed against the turtles to retrieve a Triceratone anti-gravity generator from Hong Kong. Standard Mouser robots are of the approximate size and shape of a turkey. They have a single eye that doubles as a skull-mounted light and 2 enormous, hardened steel-toothed jaws that can bite through concrete, brick and steel with ease. In addition, the Mousers are able to use their gripping toes to climb walls, and have a hollow body cavity, with which they can transport swallowed material or objects. Standard Mousers only have a low intelligence and no independent thinking skills. They are basically drones and usually controlled by a central computer station or simply a remote control. The Mousers are robots created by Dr. Baxter Stockman and through this affiliation enemies of the Ninja Turtles. The robots are about knee-high for a human. They have a head with sharp teeth and 2 legs. Their jaws are strong enough to bite through steel. In the Mirage comics, the Mousers were originally created by Dr. Baxter Stockman, under the premise of selling them to the government, as a way of fighting New York City's rat problem. However, their creator used them to steal valuables from bank vaults. Later, his assistant, April O'Neil, accidentally stumbled onto Baxter's true intent, to gain billions through theft as he believed himself to be smarter than the authorities. After April escaped from a secret lab inside Baxter's complex and into the sewers, she was eventually cornered by several Mousers. At the last second, the turtles burst from the shadows and destroyed all the Mousers. However, April promptly fainted after the turtles showed themselves to her. After waking up in the lair and calming down from the sight from the turtles and Master Splinter, she was told of their origins. Just then, a TV news bulletin came on showing a shadowy figure threatening to destroy a building unless he was paid a ransom. The ransom wasn't paid and the building is destroyed. April instantly sussed out that Stockman was responsible and led the turtles to his underground lab. While Leonardo, Raphael, and Michelangelo fought a horde of Mousers off, she and Donatello initiated an emergency shutdown. It worked and the turtles, along with April, departed from the lab. Each Mouser was about 60 centimeters tall, could hold up to 5 rats, and was controlled by radio waves as well as by a central computer. They would later return and sometimes they come back. In the comic, Razorback orders his troops to activate the Mousers. Donatello arrives and finds Detective Whitmire within the chaos. He has discovered what's caused the buildings to collapse, but before he can explain, a swarm of Mouser robots erupt from beneath the city streets. Michelangelo finally arrives and the Turtles tell Whitmire to find Trent and get him to safety since he's the Mouser's target. The Turtles hijacked an ambulance and chase after Razorback's van. Leonardo climbs on top of the ambulance, chops Razorback's arm off, and then bursts the van's tire, causing the villains to crash into a dump truck. All the Mousers in Times Square suddenly deactivate, and with good reason. The crash decapitated Razorback. He had been controlling them with a cerebral implant.